to have is, they're going up there, they're going to try their best, but they also have in the back of their mind, holy crap, this could go wrong at any moment, which is kind of a thrill for us. It's kind of like you're on that boat that's rocking back and forth. You don't know if you're going to stay afloat or if you're going to fall overboard and drown,
It sounds like
I,
showbiz.
yeah, yeah. There's no. It's not like musicians. Comics don't have hits. We have plenty of misses, but we don't have hits. And I'm sure plenty of other stand-ups out there would agree with me. But yeah, I got to watch Dice, and in the business they call it taking class when a comic watches another comic who's been around longer than them. And what better comic to take class from than one of the OGs, in my opinion, of raw comedy. The first comic ever to sell out Madison Square Garden twice. Definitely a New York legend, and he was awesome seeing him in person. Um, but I remember about 30 minutes prior to that, one of the open micers that I was in the room with, for the open mic, got in a little bit of trouble that night. I'm not going to say the guy's name. Whenever Governors has a big name, and excuse me if my voice seems a little hoarse. Whenever Governors has a big name at the club, normally when they get brought to the main green room, the door's wide open and they're very friendly and personable and they're talking to the other comics. Dice is not like that. I'm not saying he's a dick, but he's very private and he's very, reserved. So 90%, usually when he's there, I learned this from when I was there, he keeps the door shut and there's a sign on it that says, no one enter unless and he has a list, family, agent,
I think it's funny that Dice's career's trumbled so much that he was fucking doing comedy at Governors. Seriously,
Considering
think
that
about it.
once upon a time he was selling out Madison Square Garden. Yeah, that's interesting.
I guess the
I'd leave
statement's
the
true,
door
right?
open if I was him.
He's still, he's,
Yeah.
What the
he's,
fuck?
he's still
So you didn't
back
get
in-
anywhere near him. You didn't get anywhere near
I
him.
didn't get anywhere near him, no, but it didn't bother me.
No, I'm not. Well,
the
that's
fact that I
you know.
still got to see him.
Right.
No,
No,
that
I
was good enough
got
for
I
me.
got that part, but it's a shame you didn't get a chance to maybe talk to him.
Yeah, but
So that kind of makes me laugh, John. So I was thinking about that, right? You were a wrestler, and I'm sure a lot of times all these kids were totally into you, and they're looking for your autograph, and
Yeah.
you're the star. And now, meanwhile, now you're a comedian trying another career, and now you're marking out for some guy. Like, isn't that weird? Like that whole kids are marking out for you. Like, which is more important to you? Like, you marking out for some dude or the other way
There's
around?
nothing wrong
Why am I
with-
using the word mark? I don't get
Because
it.
this is a wrestling show.
I guess so.
there's nothing wrong with having influences and having people
Right.
you look up to. It's
Yeah.
how you handle it.
Yeah.
I learned a long time ago to drop the whole fanboy shtick once I started being around, other higher talent. And dating back to when I was on the Independents, and I would do shows with like X-Pac and
Right.
your buddy Tony Atlas.
There you go.
Like the last thing I would do around guys like that is be like, oh my God, sign this, take a picture here, call my father, sign. I wouldn't do any of that. It's much more realistic for someone in my position, and I assume people in your position, to treat them more like equals, because that's probably what they want in the long run.
Yeah.
They don't want to do business with someone who's going to put them on a pedestal and kiss their ass the whole time. They'd rather, have that sense of professionalism. So if I was honored enough to be in the same room with Dice, in a conversational standpoint, I'd still keep the professionalism there, but there's always that thought in the back of my head, like, wow, I'm, sharing the room with this guy I look up to. And there's plenty of guys in wrestling who I've had that, opinion with as well. But yeah, it's all about how you handle it. I don't find it weird at all unless you handle it weird.
Yeah, you don't want to wind up being a Mark weirdo. That
Yeah.
wouldn't be a good thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to say thanks. I already have.
Can I finish the story, by the way, I was going to tell about Dice in the green room?
Oh, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off. There was an older comic doing the open mics with us who swore to everybody in the room that him and Dice started together at this club called Pips in Brooklyn, which no longer exists. And of course, like I mentioned earlier, the dressing room door was shut. The sign that said "Do not enter." This guy just walked right on in. Hey, Dice,
Okay.
my name's so and so. We started, and without missing a beat, Dice goes, "Get the fuck out of here!" and starts throwing water bottles at us.
Very nice.
The rest of us were just laughing.
Let's
up a
throw
storm.
water bottles at him.
Wow. Dice.
The dice is special.
I wonder if the guy really truly did start with him years and years. Maybe like he has a memory from a million years ago, and Dice was like, "Get the fuck out! That can't feel too good."
But this goes back to when I said handling it weird and handling it not weird. That guy
Right.
handled it weird.
Well, I
you
wouldn't
know?
go. I myself wouldn't go barging in, so I got that part about
Exactly.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, you were
Wait a
saying-
minute, hold on. I want to understand something before we move on.
Yeah.
The guy's playing fucking Governors. Okay,
Yeah.
let's get realistic here.
Absolutely.
Right? Governors, for anybody that doesn't know, is a Long Island spot for comedy.
It's a
One
good
of the
one, though.
very
It's a good
few
one.
comedy
It's a good
places,
one.
right?
Yeah, it's a good one.
Hold on.
As far
It's-
as Long Island.
It's a good one
Right.
for Long Island,
Right.
right?
Right.
My point, and again, I'm not knocking Governors, okay? But the point of the matter is, you're playing Governors dice. What do you got to sit in your something? I mean,
Yeah,
come on, man.
he doesn't have to do that to the up and comers. I agree with you.
Let's
You
get a
know.
little realistic.
I don't
here.
expect him to throw him under the bus, but yeah, I think that kind of sucks.
It's
You know,
it's kind of
personally,
ridiculous. It's like
you know.
get your shit together
Yeah.
and like
Well, the worst part is
understand where you are in the
it's-
world.
Well, here's the worst part. It sounds to me like he forgot where he came from. Forget where you are. How about remember where you come from? You know, as far as that goes. But that's Dice for you. I mean, like Dice was a great stand-up comedian back in the day. The movie thing didn't work out so great, but you
Yeah,
know.
Fort
He's
Fairlane,
actually
it
made
was.
some decent movies.
What
was
did
in-
he? Fort
he
Fairlane
was-
tanked
no,
when it
you're
came
talking
out.
about old. He was in Blue Jasmine, which is a Woody Allen movie.
Oh, okay.
Which is
Okay,
actually
nicely
pretty good.
done. Okay.
He was in
Okay.
A Star Is Born, the remake, as the father. He was actually
So maybe that's why he had his door closed.
he's playing Governors, dude.
I'm trying to
You're
bail him
trying
out
to do what
here.
you can here, but guys playing
get-
Governors.
I'm